If your kit hasn't come with these two, the main interconnect wire between your low batteries and your high batteries, and the temp boards, then you'll probably need to dismantle your present metal hard drive battery. To do that, basically start off with the battery loose from your bike, take the black cover off. First thing you do is you see these interconnects that go down, you get rid of them. Get them free. Remover. Basically what we're doing here is undoing each of the temp boards as we go, and then lifting the next module out. And then we undo that. And the other side as well. The top rack's the easiest one because you can get to the these nuts with the drill. Unfortunately, when you go further down the rod, it doesn't work so well. Remove them to the side. If you're an Australian customer and I'm buying the batteries off you, these metal hard drive batteries that is, you want to keep as much of it intact as possible, so you don't want to lose any of these bits. If you're not, and you don't have another plan for these batteries, it doesn't really matter so much if you lose some stuff. That might get stuck sometimes. Alrighty, then you use a small screwdriver to undo these. Making sure you don't lose any of the washers on these M3 bolts. Put them to a side. Then peel that back. Now every single one of these bolts with a hole in it, with a threaded hole, you'll need to remove because you'll need them on your conversion. So loose them off with the drill. We can do it for you. Yeah, usually it's only on this row. With your topmost battery, it will be there, and put them all aside. Again, somewhere safe with the M3 bolts. Don't worry about replacing these bolts. You'll have lots of spares at the end. So for the moment, we'll just leave them empty. Then there's little bits of string on the side, which allows you to lift the cells out. There we go. And the next fun part. Basically, you take something sharp or a screwdriver and then cut away. Actually, do we have the blade somewhere? Alrighty, now that we found ourselves a knife, thanks to Brian's help, we just cut away at this tape, goes all the way around. Some of it will be peeling off in places, don't worry. Then in theory, you will need to push the plastic this way to unhook it from the modules below, and then lift it off. Now you've got to be careful that these interconnects don't come back onto the cells, because they're alive and they will short, and it'll be very unpleasant for everyone. Getting this through can be tricky. Basically, this battery's not really built to be dismantled after assembly, so getting it through can be tricky at the best of times. Alright, first things first, we dismantled this interconnect, put it aside. Then we do the process all over again. We undo the temperature boards, collect the M3 bolt. Try not to drop the little washers way in the nether regions. And we'll pull it away. Some packs will have a cable tie holding the cells together. I'm going to cut that away. It certainly will be redundant.
Side cutters?
Yeah, probably. Thank you. It will definitely be redundant in the lithium conversion because the wires will have to physically go in different spots. But for the moment I'm just getting it away from the live interconnects. Now the hardest part about pulling these batteries apart are these nuts here. Because you can't cheat and use the drill, and there's usually sticky stuff all over the thread, so it's actually hard turning. And you've got them go all the way up, then past this, then up the next thread as well. Alright, excellent. Okay, so by this stage you will have the nut done. You don't have to take it all the way off, you only need to get it up high, so it's like that, and we need to get the plastic bit off. Now you may need to use a screwdriver or something similar to pry it off, because they are usually pretty well stuck there. Like so. Be careful not to short the screwdriver across multiple sets of cells. And try not to crush your finger. Many of the batteries will have gunk on the threads, which will make your life no end more difficult. Alright, once it's like that, then undo the interconnects on the other side. Bend them back, fish out the string, and away we go. Alrighty, and then it's the same again. Use a serrated blade or something similar to cut away all the plastic or all the tape. Pay extra attention you don't cut this wire because you will need it. This time for the bottom one, there'll be one tab in this side, so that you're pushing it over. The tabs are always on the side with the interconnects facing up. And push that in and over. There we go. Oh, sorry, no worries. Maybe pull that back over. There we go. And lift back up and over. Now at this point it would be easier to put the temp sensor boards in the top one and then hold it up like that. You can usually lock it in with the threads. It's okay. Aha! And now it gets really tricky. Alright, so you would want to be undoing these interconnect ones, getting them out of the way. And then, same as before, you want to be undoing these little screws. Again, saving them for later because we'll be needing to bolt these temp sensor boards back down. The side, you'll need to tear up the silicon gunk they've used, undo it here as well. Tearing it up. Alright, once that's clear, pull it out through the top. And now you've got your temperature sensors. Then we need this. Unlike the previous sets, I might have to strip that down. Unlike previous sets, these two bolts are also got a thread cut into them. Okay, so now we've got one of these. This will form the interconnects between your lower cells and your upper cells. So these two will connect to your the end cells in your bottom layer. Once you've got that up and over, once again we want to remove the bolts. On the side. Ooh, it's not liking that. I might have to do that one manually. These bottom cells don't have to be removed from the bottom layer because you don't have to get any further than that.